Everybody, welcome back into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. Particularly during COVID and the many days afterwards, mental health seemed to come to the forefront, and mental health crisis for our country or around our state, our local community. There's always a place you can call, someone you can talk to, and 988 is the number that you will have a crisis intervention. You can always style that for suicide or crisis, lifetime mental health awareness. And our local sheriff's office has gone door to door to raise awareness for the 988. First Lieutenant Blake Tabor with the sheriff's offices here. He's the PIO, the Public Information Officer. So, hey, thanks for being here. You guys went door to door because this has become such a big part of our community in raising mental awareness.
Absolutely.
Awareness.
So last year in July of 22, the Louisiana Department of Health started a campaign for 988, which is a hotline throughout the state, and it's also working into a national campaign where anyone that's in any type of crisis or suicide can call that number and receive a licensed person that can help them. Which we thought was an amazing thing. You know, mental health is such a big component of what we do at the sheriff's office and what we deal with on a daily basis. In my opinion, there's not enough that we can do to raise mental health awareness.
Yeah. Now, how is that different from 911?
So 988, you're gonna receive a clinician, someone that is trained in crisis intervention, not necessarily a law enforcement officer or a law enforcement dispatcher of any kind. Now, that doesn't mean that that call can't be transferred down the line to us if we're the people that you would like to talk to. That can certainly happen. But this is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week monitored tip line. So it's good. It's good to know that there are people there that you can call that will always be there regardless of when the call is made.
Right, because I mean that's a desperate feeling. Somebody's kind of at the end of
Absolutely.
the rope, and that is a lot of what you guys respond to, though, right?
It is.
I'm sure at the root of a lot of things are a mental health crisis, some kind of way when it ends up where y'all have to make a response to those.
Absolutely. And, you know, we deal with it on a daily basis. And I guess what I would want people to know is we encourage people reaching out to us for mental health awareness. If you're having trouble, we want to talk to you. I am also the crisis intervention team leader for the sheriff's office, so I deal with a lot of negotiations and I talk to a lot of people in crisis. And I think, you know, we want to get away from the perception that they're being troublesome to us. They're not. We are here to help, and it's just another avenue of our ability to be able to help the community.
Yeah, and look, mental health can go across any spectrum, right?
Absolutely.
You could be poor, you could be rich, you could be famous, you could, you know, anything.
Absolutely.
So it goes across all lines, particularly with your job. A lot of those guys come from the military, guys
Absolutely.
and girls, and I should mention that, of course. After 2020, with everything, the protests and all, it wasn't great. So you guys, I know you're looking for everybody to raise awareness, but as yourself, from your own team and the police force and the sheriff's office, I'm sure that's a big part of what y'all do too.
Absolutely.
Right?
And again, it just
Checking in with everybody, right?
absolutely. And again, it goes back to making sure that our community is educated on the resources that are available. And again, 988 is just another resource. It's not the end all be all. Because the reality is if someone is in crisis and they don't call the number, then it's going to be really hard for us to get the help to them. So we hope that those people that are in crisis are brave enough to make that call, and then we can get a lot of resources moving in the right direction.
Yeah, we were taking a look at the pictures. Where'd y'all go?
We hit a lot of areas, you know, throughout the west side of Houma, the Houma Police Department, the Louisiana Probation and Parole, the DA's office here in Terrebonne Parish was all a part of this initiative. So we hit multiple neighborhoods. I think the pictures that you see us here at the Civic Center before the campaign started. And then after that, we went door to door. I know we were in the sheriff himself was in the Broadmoor area. I know some of the Houma Police Department was in several areas on the east side of town. So, you know, we just tried to hit as many houses as we could to make people aware of what's going on. That's the big push. Again, we did a press release on this last year. We got a lot of positive feedback from it. And so every May is going to be Mental Health Awareness Month for this area.
How has your training changed over the years? You know, because particularly when you're trying to arrest somebody, a lot of times, you know, we've said, hey, not so much force anymore, but
Sure.
you got people in mental health crisis when you have to deal with it. Y'all training has changed?
Absolutely. And I can tell you, you know, we have to progress with the times as well. I mean, I can remember 25 years ago, whenever I went through the academy, there was some sort of training, but it wasn't as progressive as it is now. And of course, dealing with crisis negotiation like I do, I mean, there is extensive amounts of training when it relates to that. But, you know, again, dealing with someone in crisis is dealing with someone in crisis. The factors may be different, meaning they may be military, they may be a drug user or a recovering drug addict. Sometimes the circumstances changes, but a crisis is a crisis.
No matter how you got there.
Absolutely.
Right?
And people need to understand that they're not a burden to our community, nor are they a burden to the sheriff's office. And we're going to do everything in our power to help them out.
Yeah, you want to keep everybody safe. You know,
Absolutely.
Obviously, you don't want anybody to hurt anybody else, but you don't want them to hurt themselves for sure.
And look, we all need help at some point in our life, and the more that this world goes on, that's even becoming more prevalent.
And really is. And a lot of times it can be a chemical thing, right? You know,
Absolutely.
serotonin, you know, not to get into too
No,
much
it's
how
absolutely
depression
true.
and anxiety works. But you get in a cycle, and you cycle downward after a big event. If you get a little help, a lot of people obviously can make good recoveries. Blake,
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man. We're worth it. So 988 is the number to call.
That's correct.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time right after this.